Welcome back to Hench and Saunters. This is my long overdue review for Captain America Civil War. Civil War is directed by the Russo brothers, who had previously directed The Winter Soldier, and the movie stars pretty much all of the Avengers except for Thor, Hulk and Nick Fury. Now the central conflict has been brewing for years, with Tony Stark feeling more and more guilty for the destruction caused by him even before he was in the suit. Steve Rogers has also been at the government's disposal for a majority of his life, and after the events of The Winter Soldier, doesn't feel like he can trust the government anymore. Now when a mission in Africa goes pear-shaped and more death and destruction is caused by the Avengers, General Thunderbolt Ross, played by William Hurt reprising his role from The Incredible Hulk, introduces an act called the Sokovia Accords. This essentially means that the Avengers will have missions assigned to them by the United States government instead of being free agents. As previously established, Tony and Steve are on the opposing sides of this act. Tony thinks this is the best option in order to keep everybody in check, whereas Steve thinks everybody should stick together as a family. With a healthy dose of manipulation from behind the scenes by Daniel Bruhl's Zemo, our heroes begin feuding. Now I say feuding because that's exactly what this is. This is a family feud. This is an argument among a family. This is not the all-out war that is presented in the trailers, and it is nowhere near as serious as the comic that this movie is loosely based upon. Now, this is one of my problems with the film, because although I understand the conflict and I understand the motivations of all our characters, I just feel like the relationships that have been established and developed over the previous 12 movies are kind of thrown aside. In fact, our central characters almost forget their friends at all, and their loyalties are thrown around carelessly. I also believe the film to have an incredibly uneven tone, and a large portion of the movie is devoted to bringing us up to speed, which I think is pretty insulting to fans who have already dedicated 8 years to this universe. That being said, the universe is getting more and more dense, that pretty soon we're going to need an opening crawl to explain what the hell's going on. These negatives aside, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I think it's an incredibly ambitious event movie, and it pays off big time. I just wish more risks were taken. I think all the performances are excellent. Obviously the standouts would naturally be Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr., but Daniel Bruhl is also very compelling as Baron Zemo, especially considering his limited screen time. The action scenes in this film are tremendous, and the airport scene is just a fanboy's wet dream for sure. However, in earlier sequences, there's a little too much dependence on the Jason Bourne style shaky cam, and that can become pretty nauseating very shortly. As expected with big budget blockbusters, the visual effects are great. However, they are very, very, very noticeable. So perhaps corners had to be cut in order to pay all these big stars, who knows. I thought Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther was brilliant, and his introduction felt very, very natural. Tom Holland is a much needed breath of fresh air as Spider-Man, and his interaction with Tony Stark is great. I really look forward to seeing his solo movie. I do, however, think that his inclusion was forced, and you could remove Spider-Man from the entire film and it wouldn't make a difference. Henry Jackman's score is great and it really works in the context of the movie. However, there aren't any memorable themes, especially considering his previous works such as Kick-Ass, X-Men First Class and The Winter Soldier. Now inevitably this movie will be compared to Batman v Superman, and although I don't want to make any comparisons myself, I will say I preferred Batman v Superman much more to this. I do think it's a better film. That's just my personal opinion. I know a lot of people hate Batman v Superman, and, you know, we've made our feelings known in the spoiler talk of Batman v Superman. But as I said, I do prefer Batman v Superman. That being said, I really liked Civil War. I didn't love it, but I'm very excited to see where the Marvel Cinematic Universe goes from here, and I'm incredibly anxious to see Doctor Strange later on this year. I give Captain America Civil War an 8 out of 10. If you enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. If you've got something to say, leave a comment down below. And if you want to see more, hit subscribe. Thanks.